I've just audited an 8-figure Meta ad account, and here are 5 takeaways from that audit. I'm going to give you them right now. So the first one, their highest spending CBO. This is their scaling campaign. High spend, really good performance. But what I noticed was their frequency of that campaign and their CPMR, cost per reach, was higher than everything else, which means potentially not as incremental as other lower spending, lower performing campaigns. And this CBO also had the highest amount of view through attributed sales. So if they were looking to scale this campaign, those are the things that I'd be looking at before putting spend into this campaign versus another one. Just something to be cautious of. Super high frequency, high percentage of view through attributed sales, something to be cautious of. What my recommendation was, may want to look at exclusions or increasing those exclusions in the future. They just had purchase and email list exclusions in the campaign, so they could add website or social either to this one or test it in different campaigns. They had a lot of partnership whitelisting activity in the account. Big fan of that. They'd also split that activity out into its own campaign. Again, a big fan of that. Whitelisting, partnership ads, really important of every ad account. Make sure you're doing it and make sure you're doing more of it as you go into 2026. My recommendation for this campaign was they had all of the ads in this white label campaign in 2 ad sets. So there was a lot of creatives consolidated into 2 ad sets. Normally, I'm quite a big fan of that, keeping your ad sets consolidated. But with whitelisting and partnerships, I am a big fan of splitting those ads out into as many ad sets as possible to try and find more winners, get spend spread across more ads, and basically making that tactic sweat a hell of a lot more, because these ads had a higher click-through rate, a lower frequency, and also a higher AOV. So being a bit more cautious by consolidating everything down might have been leaving some cash on the table. So my recommendation was be a bit more hacky, be a bit more day tradey in the partnership stuff, and you might find, you probably will find more winning ads, and you probably will be able to scale them. They had a separate campaign for their DPA catalog ads. Big fan of this ad type for this type of product. It was a women's accessory brand, really big catalog, lots of SKUs. So yeah, this type of format can drive a hell of a lot of stability in the account. My question was, how incremental are they? And what I did was I ran through how we measure incrementality without needing North Beam or Triple Whale. So things like CPMR, frequency, cost per Google referral. So the cost of getting someone to see the ad, engage with the ad, and come back to the website via Google. That's a really good leading indicator to measure. They also were running a separate campaign for whitelisting DPA catalog ads, which is not something that I've seen before. So I'm a big fan of that. Lower CPM, lower CPMR, and a higher frequency. So potentially they need to increase the exclusions on that campaign. And they also had a value optimized CBO campaign, which value optimization, we've seen that performing really well over the last couple of months. Yeah, it did have a higher CPM, it did have a higher CPMR, but it did have a lower frequency. So it's potentially looking like that is more incremental. And the main thing was it was driving the AOV. So it was doing what it was meant to do. So there we go. There's a few tips from this audit of this 8-figure ad account. Let me know if you've got any questions. Cheers.